Hi everyone! So today I thought I'd show you how I do my everyday natural foundation routine, and if you'd like to see how I get flawless skin, cover redness, and acne scars, then just keep watching. So starting off with a clean moisturized face, I'll take my Revlon Whipped Foundation in the color Natural Beige, and this stuff is good if you have oily skin and you want your foundation to last all day. I'm going to be taking my Sonia Kashuk brush I just got from Target, and I'll just dip a little bit into the foundation, stipple it on the back of my hand to move the product around, and then I'll start buffing into my face and then patting on the spots where I think I need more coverage. Mainly I'll be focusing around my cheek and my chin area because that's where I tend to break out the most. And after I'm done trying to cover that, I will go up underneath my eyes and very gently around my eyelids so that when I apply eyeshadow, I won't need to use primer. Now this is a great alternative if you don't have primer and it keeps your eyeshadow lasting all day. So to be honest, I don't really like this brush for foundation because it leaves the black bristles all over your skin, which is funny because the other Sonia Kashuk brush I have is amazing. It's one of my holy grail brushes. It's soft, it doesn't leave any bristles on your face. So if you guys have any recommendations for any good foundation brushes, let me know. When I'm done applying foundation, I will go in for a second layer with the 24-hour Superstay foundation in the color Sand Beige. And this makeup is amazing because it lasts all day and keeps your face from getting oily. Now I'll be taking my Real Techniques brush, I think it's the buffing brush or the stippling brush, and I'll do the same thing that I did with the first foundation, put a little bit on the back of my hand, and just tap my brush in it. And then I will just pat that on my face. We don't want to buff it into our face because it'll just move the first layer of foundation around. So being very gentle and just stippling the foundation into my skin, I will just go around the areas I think I need a little more coverage, and I'll just go around my forehead a little bit. I have a little bit of redness up there. And just concealing around my eyes, I'll just be very gentle and cover any of the redness that I have left on my face, especially on my cheeks and around my mouth area. Now I really like this brush. It leaves a nice layer of foundation and it just blends right into the first layer. So if you guys are looking for a good foundation brush, I definitely recommend getting the stippling brush from Real Techniques. Always remember to blend around your chin area and a little bit down your neck so all the foundation blends in. Luckily, this foundation blends into my skin perfectly, so I don't really have to do much. And as you can see, all the redness is covered up. So for concealer, I'll use my Instant Age Rewind. I think this is the fairest shade. I think it's just called Fair. And I'll twist it up a bit. Just put a little bit under my eyes. And I know a lot of people might not do this, but it matches my skin perfectly. So I'll just dot it on the spots where I have leftover redness, which is pretty much on my cheeks and on my chin. Now, the only problem with this concealer that I find is that those of you with darker skin might have a problem finding a color that matches you. I mean, there's colors that are good for highlighting, like the center of your face, underneath your eyes, which it's intended for. But if you guys are going to use it on your face like I am right now, it might not match your skin tone as well. This shade is very light, so it matches me. Now just using my ring finger, I'll pat it underneath my eyes and I'll blend out any of the areas where I applied the concealer just so that I'm not moving it around. I'm just patting the edges out and blending it into the foundation I just applied. Okay, so then I'll be taking my Dream Matte Powder by Maybelline in the color Light or Cream, and I'll be using my Sonia Kashuk brush that I got from Target. I think this is just the regular powder brush. And dipping it in the product, I will just lightly dust my face to ensure that I don't get oily throughout the day and my foundation stays on all day. And for bronzer, I'll be using the True Match in a darker color than my skin tone, and I'll be using this brush from Sigma, and I'll just pat it in the product a tiny bit, and using the same Dream Matte Powder, I'll just use that to blend it in since this color is a little bit too dark for my skin. I'll just contour my face around the edges. I'll do my temples, underneath my chin, the hollows of my cheekbones, and this will just give a little bit more shape to my face without making it look flat, and it'll just bronze me up a little bit since my skin tone is so light. And we want to make sure to blend down our chin and neck area. So next, using my NYX blush in the color Peach. This is pretty much a perfect shade for every day. It's a peachy pink color, and I'll be using my Sigma blush brush and just pat that in the product, tap it on the back of my hand, and just go up towards my temples. Now this blush is nice because it's not too much, it's not too harsh, but it just gives you that nice flush of color. And I'll be doing the same thing on the other side of my cheek. And I'll just brush it up towards my temples so it looks natural. And if you smile, you can find the apples of your cheeks and just pat that on. And then taking the Sigma brush that I used for bronzer, I'll just blend that in a tiny bit more just to make sure there's no harsh lines. And my favorite part of this whole thing is spraying the Skindinavia makeup setting spray. And I'll just use about 8 or 9 sprays on my face, and I'll make sure it dries. Now, as you can see, all the redness on my face is covered up. It's nice and natural, and this is how I do my everyday foundation routine. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.